The platform itself, its home is in the global Forex marketplace. And so many of you who are guests, perhaps you've heard of the Forex market in the past. Maybe you've even participated in the Forex market. It's really important for all of you, though, to understand, and especially you new guests, but also friends that are part of the CFX family already, but maybe are very new to the platform. The purpose behind the architecture, behind the design of this, we're going to get into during the course of this presentation, but keep in mind this is something that you'll be able to take advantage of with no previous experience, no extra computer software or hardware download required, absolutely nothing. This is meant to be a success in this marketplace for dummies. Please excuse the term, I meant no offense, but let's talk specifically about why we're all here with this new social CFX movement.
At this time of unprecedented worry and anxiety, driven by a single virus, baffling the brightest minds in science, there are lessons that we can take from this global pandemic. We are all equal, regardless of our culture, religion, occupation, financial situation, or social status. It is reminding us that we're all connected, and something that affects one person affects another. It is also reminding us just how important family and home are. How providing for those we love is of critical importance, especially in times of crisis, and how difficult or even impossible that can become under certain circumstances. The world we know is going to change. There's no escaping that fact. One thing still in your control: what you do with your time. There's a tiny percentage of people globally that are completely free of debt, not beholden to anyone. And as incredible as that may sound, anyone can accomplish a similar degree of this success with proper guidance. You can attain the same freedom and the same peace of mind to enjoy family and friends, regardless of what may be happening in the world around you. While real financial security is available to everyone, it doesn't happen on its own, and it's not easy, but it is absolutely possible for you. To learn what steps you can take today, and to make sure that you're numbered amongst those that are financially free, get back to the person that shared this video with you and take action today.
So the first thing that I'd like to share with you, those of you here for the very first time, is the message that's in that very short video is a message that truly lives in the hearts of the founder and all the corporate team here at CFX. This is a platform that was meant to be extremely simple to use, very quick and easy to start benefiting from. And so as such, we felt it was critically important that we spent a little bit of extra time and dedicated ourselves to presentations multiple days per week to really help get this information out, because there are thousands of people all around the world already profiting from this platform, and we wanted to make it as easy as possible for you to be exposed to it and ultimately for you to start to benefit from it. So we talk really about the global Forex marketplace, but there's two industries that are exploding, and in fact receiving even more of an explosion in the e-learning industry, especially with what's happening around us right now, with people really being stuck at home. You're hearing stories about universities and high schools and elementary schools and all different kinds of institutions that are having to rely now on classroom environments. We're probably seeing platforms like LinkedIn owns something called lynda.com. If you've never played with that before, it's an absolutely wonderful learning environment. You've heard of Udemy and many other online platforms. Well, CFX has its own, and it's called the Academy, and you'll learn a little bit more about that in just a minute. But if you take a look at some of the e-learning statistics, look at some of these growth numbers, $325 billion projected by 2025. I think we may even eclipse that now with the chain of events that we're going to start to see happen over the coming 2 or 3 years. Major growth, 900% over several years. But look at this. This last bullet point, I think, really says an awful lot as to the effectiveness of e-learning. And that is 40 to 60% less learning time than in a classroom environment. That's a staggering statistic when you consider how much time could be saved by using an environment like this. And then, of course, on the right-hand side of the slide, you can see some of the incredible enormity of the global Forex market when we compare it to other markets that we're all very familiar with, or at least have heard of before. Very large markets in their own rights, the equities market and the futures market. But take a look in contrast to the size of the global Forex market and the absolute immensity of that. Now, I'd like to play another very short video. The foreign exchange market, or Forex for short, is a global, decentralized, over-the-counter market for the trading of currencies. This market determines foreign exchange rates for every currency. It includes all aspects of buying, selling, and exchanging currencies at current or determined prices. You have probably already participated in the Forex market. If you've ever traveled to another country, you would have exchanged some of your own country's currency for the currency of the country you're going to visit. If you didn't spend all your exchanged currency and deposited it into your bank account when you returned home, and that currency went up in value during your vacation, you would have received more of your home currency for your exchange currency when you deposited your excess foreign currency into your bank. This is also how you make money in the global Forex market. There are plenty of ways to invest your money. Lots of people purchase stocks or bonds. The Forex market has several advantages over the stock and bond market. Stock and bond markets frequently have bull periods and bear periods. A bull period is identified when just about everything in the market is going up. A bear period is identified when just about everything in the market is going down. While it's easy to make money in a bull market, it's much harder for a trader to make money in a bear market when prices are falling day after day. In Forex, there never really is a bear market or a bull market, since each trade consists of buying one currency while selling another. The market never really goes up or down as a whole. One currency going down naturally means the other counter currency is going up. All that matters is the currency you're interested in is either going up or down. Secondly, the Forex market in general is a level playing field. There are no mergers or acquisitions or inside trading to make the market move unexpectedly. The Forex market is the biggest market in the world, with over $5 trillion a day traded. So no one entity is ever big enough to control a market of that size. The market trades 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 124 hours of continuous trading time available to you. You can start trading at 9 a.m. Monday morning in Sydney, Australia, and wrap up your trading on Friday at 5 p.m. in New York. So the market is ready and waiting for you anytime you want to trade. And because the market is so big, odds are you'll never be stuck in a trade. If you want to get out of a position, you can almost always find someone to buy or sell with. Trades are executed within seconds. Central banks and the global banking industry, governments, financial institutions, multinational corporations, and about 90 million home-based retail trading enthusiasts all trade in the global Forex market. Well, that was definitely a crash course. I hope that helped. I hope that provided some information that perhaps you didn't know about the Forex market previously. So let's talk a little bit about Cash FX Group and some of the core principles and values behind the company. First of all, transparency is absolutely key when it comes to how this platform was engineered. And you'll find that actually, as we move through this presentation, you'll see various elements where that becomes very evident. And we want to make sure that it's critically important for all of you that when this platform is working for you, although you do not need to be an expert, although you do not need to have any experience at all, you have an opportunity to see exactly what's being done for you. The purpose of the platform, just as that first 90-second video was playing and sharing, is that we really wanted to bring the complexity of an absolutely massive market to everybody. And if you noticed in the chat just before we got started, there was people that were sharing where they were from all over the world. And that's exactly what we're seeing with the explosive growth that the platform is offering. So the positioning is very, very clear. Bring the simplicity of Forex to everybody. And we're doing that in a couple of different ways. There's some very specific technology and engineers behind that technology that are all in-house. Nothing third party, nothing white labeled. Everything is being managed under one roof. And it brings a very specific and strategic advantage, not only to the company, but also you, the end user, in your ability to not only benefit and profit in the short term, but long term as well. So this becomes something that you can rely on. All right, so let's talk a tiny bit about the people behind the system. First of all, it's important you understand that there are teams involved. And there's very significant teams involved. We've got teams of engineers on the back end that really build out your back office environment and all of the reward structure and tracking all of the growth for members that share the platform with others. But there's also teams of engineers on the trading side that build our technology, that manage the technology. There's also teams that constantly upgrade and maintain that technology so it's always performing at a peak level and it's never being affected by a huge varying in market conditions. But behind that as well, you've got graphics teams and you've got support staff It really is a very significant group that has all been assembled by our two founders for the benefit of all of our members. Now, Huascar and Edwin are the founders of the platform. Huascar Lopez is the CEO, and I think you're really going to be excited to have an opportunity to hear from him today. Edwin Abad really runs everything to do with daily Forex operations. Now, that list is really substantial, and you'll learn a little bit more of that list as we move through the presentation. But anything to do with technology, anything to do with the traders, the developments of the EA, the make sure that gets managed. And don't forget, there's also constant technology upgrades as well. So let's talk a bit about the corporate offices. They are, as you can see from the top of the screen, located in Panama. These are artist renditions, graphic artist renditions from the architectural firm of the build out of these offices in Panama. In fact, many people on this call have had the opportunity of touring these facilities. If you take a look at the middle shot, that long wall absolutely loaded with trades. These are actually live trades that are on camera being recorded. In fact, if you take a look at the lower photograph, you can see that photograph or that wall running into the distance. In fact, the windows out the far side, if I remember correctly, we can even see the Panama Canal from those windows. So it's an absolutely epic view through those windows because it's a 10,000 square foot office right downtown in the heart of Panama City, Panama. And I know many people were absolutely thrilled to have the opportunity to tour those facilities. But I think what's really important is that all of you will have those opportunities. Once we have the air clear, no pun intended, with this global pandemic we're all dealing with, we're going to have, of course, an official launch of this office space, and there's going to be an open door policy. Any member that wants to go down, meet the corporate executives, and actually tour these facilities will have opportunity to do so. So let's talk a little bit about the trading specifically. We've hinted as to what's operating behind the scenes, and I hope you get a sense of the immensity of what's been built. First of all, to help you with that, I want you to understand that while this platform has been available for member consumption in what we call a pre-launch period that was basically rolling out about August of 2019. And then we had that official launch where many individuals toured the facilities in Panama in November. This tech was actually being constructed and was working effectively for months and months and months before the owners of the company allowed this to become available for member consumption. Primarily behind all the live traders and behind the engineers are a team that really build out the software. It's called Expert Advisor, is the professional term for software in the Forex marketplace. EA is what's often called, it's often called in short. And many of you have actually had opportunities to speak with the engineers, speak with the live professional traders, and you understand the value of having them all, as I said before, under one roof so that these things can constantly be adjusted. I'll give you a perfect example. As the COVID-19 crisis really started to shut things down and have a dramatic effect on money markets all around the world, they were able to quickly swing into action, make modifications based on the craziness they were seeing in the market. And every single day since that started, we've had positive trading days. Every single day. I want you to consider the importance and the value of that when you see so many people getting beat up in so many markets. Now, we talked about transparency in that very first slide. If you take a look at the bottom, the screen, that's actually a real screenshot from what we call our web TV. And so there are a variety of currency pairs that are most common currency pairs traded by CFX. And you can actually click through those currency pairs to have live video feed of what we call MT4 or the MT4 software and those currencies being traded. So every member has access to all of this information in your back office. You can use your telephone, you can use your tablet or a laptop, whatever you want to manage. So the way one interfaces with the CashFX project is through what we call trading packs. And these trading packs are broken up into 15 different sections. And I'm going to walk you through them very quickly right now. But one thing I want to point out, if you look at the very top of this page, the $300 trading pack, if you look off to the right-hand side, it says Academy Pack 90. So this is representing that portion of the online university. $300 to get started with that trading pack, and then 30% of the value of that trading pack is earmarked to unlock that first section of the academy. If you take a look at the next trade contract is $500. And again, 30% of the value of that trading pack unlocks the next section of the academy. If you take a look at the third one, $300 is 30% of 1,000. 600 is 30% of 2,000, and so on and so forth. So as we walk through all of these, you'll see the mathematics consistent right across the board. And then the sentence below that is the trade pool deposit. So this is the actual capital that's going to start working for you. So that's the balance. When we move into the advanced series, this begins at $5,000 to 7, all the way down to $20,000 at exactly the same mathematics. $4,500, for example, for $15,000 trading pack, 30%, and the balance is going to work for you. When we move into the Supreme series, these are the last 5 sections. So you remember, if you started, for example, at a 30K contract in the Academy Pack 9,000, remember, that's not just opening that one section, that's opening every single section of the Academy before that. And you just continue to work your way through. We call this a trade package ladder. Now, for those of you who are here as guests, one of the things that I think has so many people so excited about this platform is that you can start anywhere. You can start at $300 or $500 or $1,000, and you, through the process of actually making trading gains, you can move through this entire trade pack ladder without going into your pocket again. That's incredibly powerful. The other thing that I think is equally powerful, one of the reasons we're continuing to gain so much momentum globally, is that there is no monthly cost to this. So that credit card program where you put your card down with the company and they bill you $100 a month or $150 a month, that does not exist here. So you never have that pressure of making sure I make enough to cover those costs. The reason that that's so critically important is there are many, many Forex platforms available to people in the market. But the problem with a monthly cost, $100 or $150 or $200 a month, is if you don't have a lot of capital available, and that certainly has become more of an issue in these recent days. If you don't have enough capital to put into your trade contract, there's a very good likelihood that you're not going to make enough profits to cover your $150 or $200 a month in fees. And so that puts an awful lot of pressure on a brand new person just starting a new income source for themselves. I mean, we go to the effort to create these things, to start these things, to make money, not to break even, and certainly not to lose money. So to be able to take that monthly cost off the table, I know is a huge peace of mind benefit for all of the members.